it's just been a really awesome game. It's my game.
And this time on Big Deck Energy, we're looking at Taalia Vess's Kaalia of the Vess. You'll recognize Taalia from her streams on Twitch and whatnot, where she's cracking packs. And you may have seen her around playing at conventions, doing cosplay, and, slapping a lot of cardboard on tables. She loves playing blue, so she chastised us about going with this deck, but it's her namesake deck. So today we're looking at Kaalia of the Vess. Kaalia is an older commander, but she's fun to play, and she cheats in Angels, Demons, and Dragons, and that's exactly how Taalia built her.
My very first interest in Magic was Kaalia, which is where Taalia comes from. Angels, Demons, Dragons.
But even though we're cheating those in, we still need to get Kaalia out on curve. So we have a ring and several signets to help out with as rocks. And because Kaalia dumps these Angels, Demons, and Dragons on the board, we need a way to refill our hands. So there's some draw cards in here. Kaalia Zenith Seeker to help us refill our hands with the cards that we're dumping on the table. But also many of these demons and a few other cards will help us draw as well, or just grab stuff that we can continue using with Kaalia. As a casual deck, there's not going to be any turn 1 Kaalia play, but we do want to give her haste. So these boots are going to be great plays early in the game. And now for the fun part, everything that we're going to cheat in, starting with Angels, not just any Angels, 8 cost Angels. There's nothing quite like cheating an 8 cost Angel onto the battlefield. And as we get into lower cost Angels, one thing to keep in mind is that Kaalia does not trigger any of these attack triggers. So Aurelia, the war leader, will not get you an extra combat phase when you cheat her out, but she's of course great to have for future turns. ETBs, on the other hand, like Karmic Guide, will trigger. And of course, what would any Angel deck be without Bruna and Gisela, who meld together for the frightening nightmare Brizella? Now there's more Angels in this deck than Dragons and Demons combined, but the Dragons have a lot of great triggers. Most of them unfortunately are attack triggers, but Balefire Dragon and Hellkite Tyrant have, game altering damage triggers. Now Demons are probably the strongest package in this deck. They got a lot going on, whether it's ETB effects or upkeep effects, plus the Master of Cruelties combo. If you cheat this bro in with Kaalia, he can knock a player out of the game that doesn't have a blocker. His trigger is not an attack trigger, it's a blocking trigger, so it does work. Although he won't do any damage, Kaalia or any other attacker will do the finishing blow. Now Taalia is running a ton of removal in this deck to pave the way for her attackers. She doesn't want Kaalia to die to any blockers, so she's just going to kill everything that stands in her way. And as a commander-centric deck, we need ways to protect Kaalia. So we have Mother of Runes, Boros Charm, Grand Abolisher to disrupt the opponents, as well as Blind Obedience and Erois that gives Kaalia menace so she can still get through and swing. We also have those boots from earlier. Like we said earlier, this is a casual deck, so we have one tutor, Demonic Tutor. But that tutor is good enough to go grab Master of Cruelties if you want to knock an opponent out early. And we also have another tutor in Rune Scarred Demon. If you drop him down, you get that ETB tutor effect. There's some utility cards in here too that'll help you drop big creatures if for some reason you can't keep Kaalia out, or you can double up on what Kaalia is doing with the Strionic Resonator. Miss Vess is running a solid Mardu land base with a lot of the staple cards in here, the Shocks, the Bond lands, and a few utility cards including Reliquary Tower and Rogue's Passage so that she can get something through. She also has a few fetch lands that'll target the Shock land or one of 3 basic lands. Now Taalia's built a fun casual deck with plenty of bombs to pick from, but the spiciest card I think is still Brizella, Voice of Nightmares. This thing is a mini game within the game. If you are able to meld Brizella together, that's basically a win in and of itself. You have to find 2 cards in the 99 to create this thing, and it's just a fun time and very thematic. Evan thinks that the best card in here is Lord of the Void. Lord of the Void is just adding insult to injury. After you cheat him in, he's going to help you cheat even more cards in, but not from your own deck, from a player's deck. Everybody hates having their deck dirtled with, and Lord of the Void will help you do just that. Now, it's tough to give criticism to somebody's pet deck that's their namesake, but it's what we do. The first cut for me would be Teriel. There's a lot of bombs in here, 17 different angels, and Teriel is one of the weaker options. You could cut her and add tempo or draw. Evan's pick is an extra dragon spirit, Ryusi. He doesn't do all that much. He has a death trigger. It's hard to do a death trigger unless you have a sack outlet. So you want to be able to control those death triggers. He would pull that card. And as far as what I would put in, the first thing that I would put in is more protection. Teferi's protection came to mind first, but a good budget alternative would be clever concealment. And that way it keeps the deck more casual. Evan's pick would be Esper Sentinel. The deck is in desperate need to fill your hand more, and Esper Sentinel is just, if it's a white deck, it belongs in there. It's not a spicy pick, but it's something that'll help this deck keep doing what it's doing. We're cracking open all sorts of people's decks, so if you want to keep seeing what you're seeing, you should subscribe. Evan's working on budget brews. We got a lot cooking. Thank you for watching this, and thank you for our subscribers. We couldn't do this without you. And also thank you to Taalia Vess. I know you said not to do this one, but hey, it's your namesake, and I just wanted to say Taalia's Kaalia a lot. If you're one of the extremes to you that's not following her on Whatnot or Twitch, go check her out. She's always entertaining, and thanks. We'll see you next time.